Hello again. We're back.
Good morning, actually. Good morning for you, isn't it? Clocks have changed.
Yes, it's
Puts everything up.
clocks have gone back, so we're still in the AM.
Well, it's been 7 hours difference for 6 months, and I've still not got my hand on time, so I've no chance now. 8 hours, have I?
Yeah, no, we're completely confused now. And all my clocks in my house are still wrong, so I've not been bothered to change them, so I've no idea what time of day it really is half the time. But hey,
Like me now.
never mind. It's not the end of the world.
It's all good fun.
What is
What
the
time
end
is
of
it?
the world?
11. Oh,
Yeah, half 11.
Half 11?
Yeah. What is the end of the world is Super 6, because,
Again?
yeah, it's not going well.
I thought you were going to win £1 million, like.
It's not going to happen. I couldn't win a fiver if I was the only person that entered. And some games
Go
this
on,
week, I
then.
thought this
Well,
week's
I'm
games were
looking at the
easy to
results.
predict.
I'm thinking you must have. I suppose, yeah. I can see a couple that have probably not gone to plan.
Well, of the 3 that have played, 2 of them have not gone to plan. So I'd got Man City.
Said that. I don't even know who's on it. So
I'd got Man City to beat Southampton 3-0.
no, they scored 1.
It was 1. I mean, they should have had about 8.
When it won after about 3 minutes as well.
Yeah, Haaland scored literally straight away, and then after that, they just kept trying and trying, but it just weren't happening. So I got 2 points for that. And that is where the good news ends. Villa Bournemouth, I put 2-0. Villa ended 1-1. Didn't see that coming. Yeah, Bournemouth are doing well, to be fair. That's 2 good results in 2 weeks for them now, because obviously they beat Arsenal last Friday. And then they've got a draw out of Villa yesterday, so they're doing pretty well.
Only a last-minute goal, though, wasn't it? But it were a very good game. Very good game.
And then, because we've spent 9 weeks slagging them off, Everton screwed me over, didn't they?
Did Fulham score late in that one?
No, Everton scored late in that. Fulham were winning. Everton scored nearly with last kick at game.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
So I put 2-1 Fulham. It was 1-1. Yeah, 1-1.
So who's the other 3 games then? That's on Super
Chelsea,
6?
Newcastle, which is the 2 o'clock game.
It's for you, isn't it? Not for me.
West Ham,
which is a 2 o'clock game.
Yeah, and then
is it on Sky that then?
Do you know, I've not looked. I just assumed it would be Newcastle Chelsea because that's a bigger game than you playing West Ham.
They are definitely on Sky because I've seen it advertised, but I didn't know if there were 2 games on.
Yeah, no, there's only 1. So it's Newcastle Chelsea that's on first, and then other games Arsenal Liverpool at 4:30.
We've not been screwed over this. There was a Friday night game on Sky. weren't they? That's why.
Yes, it was.
No, Saturday kickoff, were they? Saturday dinner time game. I sat down to watch it, and again, fuck all there. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I know it was Friday night instead, and that were a really good game actually.
Yeah, I watched it Saturday morning, but then thinking that there'd be a Saturday dinner time kickoff, I sat down Saturday night to watch it, and refreshing page I watched things on. No game, and I'm like, what's going on here? Where's the game though? Only to find out there weren't one.
Yeah,
because there wasn't a Friday night game, I'm guessing, because they're only allowed to show 4.
Not sure, to be honest, but yeah.
I think they're only allowed to show 4 Premier League games a weekend, so the Friday night game was to replace the Saturday morning game.
Fair enough, whatever.
You know, the English rules and all that. So have you got then to the Chelsea Newcastle? What you got on that?
2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah.
West Ham, Man United. I thought you're going to lose. You're terrible. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
And then I've put Arsenal to lose to Liverpool 2-1. Because as they're all at pains to keep telling us they've got 5 starting players missing. It's been Ian Wright.
We weren't allowed to complain last season, were we? Man, you had half the team, man.
Well, yeah, but that's,
It was just part and parcel of Premier League.
It's quite funny. I do enjoy listening to Ian Wright, but when it comes to Arsenal, he's so defensive and protective.
I quite like Ian Wright, but Jesus Christ, when he goes on about Arsenal, he's literally literally like an Arsenal manager. I know. He's like talks about them like he owns them. I'm like, come on, mate. It's like defending the red cards. Well, it shouldn't be red cards. I'm like, Yeah, the
Most
red
of them
cards,
probably
mate,
should.
because you committed the fouls. Or so you got how many points?
2.
Again, you had 2 this
Yes.
time last week.
Yes, I did.
And the bigger question: how's David doing?
So he's got, but bearing in mind it was
He
was fantasy team that was his bad week last
It was
week.
fantasy team his bad week. I mean, I don't know David. I just like to laugh at people.
He's got 7 in Super 6, so he's doing a damn sight better than I am.
I'm not saying all about that. I'll cut this bit out.
But his fantasy team might be terrible because ours is not great. Let's be honest.
Oh my god!
We just,
This
I
was
mean,
supposed to be the way out. This was supposed to be retirement.
Our team haven't played though. To be fair, so none of the midfield players and 2 of the back 3 haven't played yet because they're all today's games.
Yeah, Arsenal,
Newcastle, Liverpool.
Arsenal.
Goalkeeper's played. He got 2 points. Dunk got nothing because he's injured. He didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play.
So we've got 23 points so far, and it's cost again. Haaland has got 12 of them. Without him, we wouldn't have any points ever.
Watkins didn't score, did he? Who's your other
No,
striker?
but Welbeck
Danny
did.
Welbeck scored, didn't
Yeah.
He keeps scoring him, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like he's
ridiculous.
Remembered how to play football.
Roll back the years, it's absolutely. I mean, Gary Neville making a case for the other day that United should bring him back, and I'm like, not so sure that's the way forward, mate. But
you don't have a centre forward scoring, but he's got 7 points. So between Haaland and Welbeck, we've got 19 of the 23 that we've scored.
Yeah, Welbeck's playing really well.
But seeing as we like to laugh at David, how is his round going so far? He has a grand total of 9.
It's better than last week. 10 out of 10 for improvement. Has he got a full team out this week?
Cameron's kind of battering everybody with 69 points already this weekend.
69?
Yeah.
He should have been England manager. Who's this geezer? Get him in charge. 69 points. That's more than you've got all season.
David is missing 2 of his starting 11. So he's got 9 players this week instead of 7.
He's not learning fast, is he?
But yeah, what the hell did Cameron have? Oh, Chris Wood on Friday night got 13.
Wood?
Haaland 18. So he's from.
He must be the only person to have Chris Wood in his dream team.
And he's got Mbeumo though, who's doing really well at Brentford.
He's a good player.
Yeah. They had another crazy game yesterday, didn't they? Brentford.
Yeah, but they keep pulling it out of the bag, don't they?
That's more Ipswich bottled that one for me. I mean, they're 2-0 up, and it's just they've not got enough about.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've said this about Spurs of the week, didn't we? When you're 2-0 up, just shut the game down. They carried on playing like they were Real Madrid. Like they were going for jugular, like they were going 4-0, and the next thing you know, they're 3-2 down. I'm like, what has gone on here? But I mean, it's one of them games where I even wrote down how on earth have Ipswich got a draw out of this. And as I'm writing it, Brentford scored again. And I'm like, what the hell? Kick them while they're down. Do you see that kid who got sent off, that Harry Clark?
Second yellow. I'm not convinced.
He's the second player in Premier League history to score an own goal, concede a penalty, and get sent off in the same game. And to top it all off, it was his debut.
Wow.
What the fuck? I mean, that's like, what would he call it? Woodgate went to Real Madrid and conceded 2 penalties and got sent off. I mean, fucking hell, mate. Great debut, isn't it?
That might be his debut and his last game.
Forever in the record books. Yeah, second player ever to come up with that feat. I mean, it's not one you want, but
it's not a record that you want, but you've got it, mate. So you might as well run with it.
He has had a bad day, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Really.
Yeah, he should have got something from that game, definitely. But I said Brentford just keep. I mean, what they got? I said they got 13 points. I mean, they're 2 points ahead of Man United. Same points as Spurs.
That's not hard.
No, that's true. That's true. Did you see any of the game from midweek?
Yes.
Did you see our new Juan Mata replacement? Mazraoui started as number 10.
How did I not notice that? He's a right back.
Yeah, he started in behind Xerxes. Run
out of places to put defenders?
He said that he'd done it before for Ajax. I don't even know that he played for Ajax, so I can't confirm or deny this.
Well, he did because all of your squad played for Ajax because that's where he's got everybody from.
I mean, I've always said I'm not a manager out at all, but they just looks desperate right now. That is just the move of desperation, isn't it? That's like, I'm going to throw something in here and just hope it works out. I mean, it didn't work. I think he did get involved in the goal, to be fair to him. But yeah, I can't even begin to understand why. I mean, he had Ahmad on the bench. He had Højlund on the bench. And he had somebody else on the bench as well. And he played him. Oh, Casemiro was on the bench. And Mazraoui got in at 10. Ericsson played as a holding midfielder. I'm a little bit flabbergasted.
I mean, you've kept dying on the hill of don't sack Ten Hag. When are you going to get off that hill?
It's not don't sack Ten Hag. It's just don't sack the manager because it's not going to help us at the minute. Getting a new manager in is just going to cost us a load of money we can't afford and not going to change the problems, as we've proven with Mourinho and Van Gaal and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and David Moyes and
Ryan Giggs
for a short while and Ryan Giggs for a short while. The manager is not the be-all and end-all of this problem. So we might as well just keep his money, save us having to spend another 200 million on another set of players that the manager wants when he comes in, and we've just got to ride it out now until everything starts to come back to us. But
I get that, but when your manager's playing you right back at number 10, I think it's time, you've got to start looking at that's an issue.
I just can't think what went through his head when he thought, well, I need to change something. I'll put me right back at number 10. I mean, the biggest problem for us is we've got no fullbacks. So the one thing you want to be resting is fullbacks because Luke Shaw's still not fit. Harry Massa's gone missing. Other left backs not fit. So we're literally down to Dalot and Mazraoui there. There are only 2 fullbacks, and we suddenly decide to start playing fullbacks further up pitch. I'd like to say it's a stroke of Pep genius, but it's not. It's just
it's not even
just
close.
A desperation move, isn't it? I looked at it and I thought, nah, even I can't find a way out for this one, mate.
No.
I'd love to see what Gary Neville's got to say about it this week because that'd be interesting. See, it always backs Man United, doesn't it? But that is I don't know. That's a move from, I don't know where that's come from.
Yeah, that's not even out of left field. That's out of just some random magic book that nobody else has ever read.
The way he described it, it was almost like he was going to play in there, and with the all intents and purposes of him not actually playing there and dropping into another role somewhere in the midfield as maybe like a holder and trying to throw a curveball, basically trying to throw them off with the tactics. So basically, you're going to drop in and maybe play it right back, and we're going to go to a 3 at back or something strange. But it just didn't happen. I don't know.
All it did is probably confuse your own team. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that with Ten Hag at the minute, though. I think he seems to overcomplicate things, and when you're struggling, you just got to go back to basics, aren't you? And we're not.
Be solid at the back, be good with the ball, and start creating.
We have been better at the back, and we have created a lot of chances and not taken them. But he keeps doing random things that you just think, if you're so confident in what you're doing, why have you done that? Trust the process.
I don't think he's confident in his doing. I don't think he knows what his plan is.
That move shows that, doesn't it? Because if you're confident in what you're doing, you don't play right back at number 10. I mean, I can't justify it. I'm lost for words for that one.
I mean,
I don't think he was going to play today.
It's not even a confidence move. That just reeks of incompetence. I mean, it's stupid.
Desperation, isn't it? Desperate, just pure desperate. It's like, maybe he'd had too much to drink the night before. And, you do something. You buy something on eBay the night before, and you think, "Oh fucking hell, what I bought that for?" This whole coaching staff to play Mazraoui as 10, and when he's woke up and gone, "Oh fucking hell, what have I done now? I'll have to ride it out."
I'm stuck with it now. It sounded good at time.
I hope I don't see him there today.
Yeah, be an interesting move.
Yes.
Once as an experiment, twice he's becoming a pattern.
Well, talking to stupidity, so Man United have drawn 3 Europa League games so far out of 3.
20, Porto and Fenerbahce, yeah.
Yeah, and we're still in position to qualify.
Of course you are. Because everybody qualifies. It's fine.
Is this not just a total joke? I mean, what's the point in this? This is the new format. We're 21st, which, I mean, you can't be much further down. and we're going to qualify at this rate.
So technically, you're out of the Premiership. You're 21st. You're top at Championship.
I mean, we're literally a car crash in Europe, and we still look like. I mean, to be fair to Ten Hag, why even bother trying? Because it doesn't look like you need to win to get through.
I'm guessing if he gets 8 draws, the chances are that'll put you into the playoff round of 16, not the actual qualifying. That'll put you into the preliminary round of 16. You remember, top 8 go through.
Oh, it's 2 rounds of 16, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, don't matter. You're still through out your group, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, and then get a win and a draw in knockout stages, and you're in the actual round of 16. Once you've done playing,
yeah, it's a fantastic tournament. I can really see why they've changed it, because it's really brought everyone to the edge of the seat. I mean,
most of the European football this week I didn't watch. For the first time in years, I couldn't find a game that interested me. I watched 20 minutes of one of the early games in Milan, and I can't think who they were playing. Some random Club Bruges, I think, and they were down to 10 men. Crowd was dead. Nobody even looked like they cared that were watching it. It was just grim.
They're still trying to figure out format. They're all who's playing who here? Why are we playing these? Did you see that stat about Man City? Man City have broke Man United's record for being the longest now unbeaten run in the Champions League.
Didn't know that either of those records were a thing.
Well, they've not gone unbeaten, have they? They didn't win the Champions League last season, so have they gone unbeaten? They won it the year before. So basically, because they lost on penalties, it doesn't count.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was trying to. My brain failed dead properly. Like, what?
What sort of stats that? So they're unbeaten.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. Real Madrid can vouch for that. How is that possible? I mean,
because
that's
only
just
count wins and draws on 90 minutes for records for some reason.
I mean, yeah. Well, that's a good one, yeah. So typical UEFA and whatever they're called. Stats are even worse than competitions.
It's been a week of interesting random officiating, though, hasn't it, across the sporting world, if we're honest?
Yes. Shall we conclude football before we start on this one? Because this one could go on for a while. It might be the last thing I say.
Just going back to the Brighton game, Brighton Wolves. Brighton 2-0 up with about 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
Wolves get one back, fine, fair enough. Have you seen what happens after that?
Their next goal or in between?
Wolves' second goal, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Brighton are 4-on-1 on attack.
4-on-1.
And concede.
And concede. I mean, what's all that about?
How have you managed
Literally,
that?
It's not even the fact that they conceded to start. It's how have they not managed to score when they're 4-on-1? I mean, that in itself is an interesting feat. But then to go and concede at the other end, I mean, they've literally gone from being on the counter-attack to getting counter-attacked on because they've got 4 men at pitch. I mean, what the? And it's against Wolves as well, who are pretty dire. I mean, they're second to bottom now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got 2 points.
I think there's a record, 27 games now. Ipswich, Southampton and Wolves, 27 games played, non-won between the three of them, something daft like that.
9-8. Yeah, it is, yeah. Ipswich.
So literally...
Oh, yeah, because Ipswich,
none of them
Palace,
have won a game.
Wolves and Southampton haven't won. So
But
9,
annoyingly,
18, 27, 35 games between them 14 and nobody's won a game.
Everton are now unbeaten in 5. So after we spent a month saying how bad they are, they're never going to score, they're never going to win, they've not lost a game in 5.
Oh, Everton fans, you are welcome. We have done our duty. We've turned your season around.
Your brand new stadium will now be in the Premier League.
Yep. All thanks to us.
Yes.
It works perfectly.
It does for everybody else.
Yeah, every time we slag someone off, they turn brilliant, and every time I say someone's brilliant, they turn shit.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon the key to it all is just mass spending, because Nottingham Forest are 6th in the Premier League, and Chelsea are 7th. So I reckon the best way to do it is just to go out and buy everybody that God's made a footballer, and somehow he'll turn it around and become a team. And Forest, they've somehow 10 points ahead of Man United, I think, or something. It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Slight issue with that, though. You've spent about 600 million quid in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but we've only spent it on 4 people, not 40 people. That's the difference. We bought 4 shit players. They bought 40 shit players, but they've managed to turn some of them 40 into decent players. And we've turned 4 of ours into shitter players. That's the problem. We didn't mass spend on multiple players. We just mass spent on Anthony and Maguire. We're both wank.
That's 160 million quid.
Oh, it goes on forever, doesn't it? I mean,
There's somebody somewhere got to be sat really upset with that, because that's a lot of money to waste. I mean, that's just.
I mean, we're now talking about buying Alvaro Fernandez back from Atletico. He's gone to one of the Spanish sides. But we let go in the summer because we didn't need a left back. We've now got no left backs fit because Malacia and Shaw are still not fit. And we're talking about buying him back in January for the buyback clause that we inserted in the contract when we sold him in the summer.
Nice. Impressive effort.
I mean, just set fire to your money, why don't you?
Where is Luke Shaw? Last time I saw him, he was in the European Championships and he's just vanished.
He's on holiday with Ben White.
It's just.
I mean, that fuck knows, mate. I mean, again, just his contract just wants null and voiding, doesn't it? Because I mean, he don't play football. So he said he'd missed. He's played for Man United for 10 seasons, and he's missed 4 seasons. He's been there 10 years, and he's missed 4 complete seasons worth of games in total.
Wow.
So he's only been available 60% of the time. And considering he won't have played, I mean, he'll played a lot of them, but he won't have played all them times, because I think under Mourinho, he fell out with him, didn't he, and didn't play. So he had a year there where he were fit and he didn't play. So he's probably only played 50% of the time as being at Man United.
But he was playing in the European Championships, only bit part, but he was playing. So he must have been close to fit, and now he's just not. Well, I don't.
No, as soon as he finished for England, he just went fit again. And he's still not fit. And they keep saying he's coming back to training. He's back. Oh, Luke Shaw's back in training. And then 6 weeks later, there's no any at team.
Random. Really weird.
And then same with Malacia. Malacia's not played for us for 18 months.
Wasn't he the one that you're saying looking good in pre-season and then just disappeared?
A year and a half ago, yeah.
Oh.
No, Amas were looking good in pre-season. The young lad who's now disappeared. We don't know what's going on with him. He's a left back and don't get in team. But he's there. He's around. He was on the bench the other day. But he don't get played. I don't know what's happened there. But Malacia is just broken.
You've got a promising looking striker in your youth squad, haven't you? He scored a hat-trick on debut yesterday.
Oh, when we were signed from Arsenal, that Obe Martin.
Yes.
They've signed some very good young players. They signed him and that. They signed the other kids as well. I can't remember his name. Yeah, they've signed some very good players.
At this point, just put them in the team.
I've said this all along, mate.
Can't be any worse.
I've said this since probably a year ago. It's rather than keep playing Rashford and keep playing, McTominay's and keep playing all these, just get them all out and just put the kids in. And what's the worst that can happen? At least we're blooding some youngsters and we've got a chance of running around. Rather than people walking around the pitch.
Have a valid excuse. You're starting again. You're not playing £80 million players.
And we won't be blowing 250 million every summer on. Well, not potential, is it? I mean, it's just crap that we're buying them in it. So, yeah, I'd said this ages ago.
I mean, your worst one's got to be Anthony, by far. He's got to be the worst signings in the history of football.
Yeah. But then when you think we paid 120 million for Varane and Casemiro, 2 people that are way, way towards the end of the career, that's a lot of money for 2 people that age. I mean, Varane's retired from football now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He went to Como and played 35 minutes, and that's ended him. So you just can't spend 120. I mean, if we'd have spent 40 million on him, we'd have probably overpaid. 120 million is just absolutely bonkers, isn't it?
But in them 4 players, you've then spent nearly 260, 270 million quid for Maguire, Anthony, Varane, and Casemiro. That's
We've got one good season out of Varane and Casemiro. I don't think we've had much more than 2 or 3 good games out of Maguire, and
30 seconds,
2 or 3 minutes out of Anthony. I mean, when he first came in, he did do a little bit, and that were it. I mean, he'd come on the other day and he said he'd been doing well in training, he deserved to come on, but There comes a point when a guy comes on a football pitch and can't play football. That it doesn't matter how good he's in training.
It's irrelevant.
It's just irrelevant, and he's just not influencing the game at all.
So it's quite funny because when he comes on as a sub, you see him outside and he's got his angry face, like he's going to be really, aggressive and important.
Sprints onto the pitch.
And he's pathetic.
Like an headless chicken.
Utterly woeful.
So also gone in the world of football. Did you see Roberto Mancini got sacked from Saudi Arabia?
Yes,
the Saudi Arabia
that.
manager.
Yeah.
They owe him between 20 and 60 million pounds.
It's just stupid, isn't it?
I mean,
utterly ridiculous.
What did Saudi Arabia expect him to do with their team? Win the World Cup?
Question. What has he actually done? Has he won? I don't.
I mean, I've looked at the results again. They've played a lot of teams that I don't know if the countries, football clubs, nations. I don't know what they are that they're playing. I mean, some of the names are quite just say. So he's won some, he's lost some, but it's Saudi Arabia. I mean, are they renowned for doing well in their?
Quick quiz. Can you name me a Saudi Arabian player?
Yes, Al Hilal Bilal.
Probably right.
He's our left back. I can't. I don't know any of it. I don't know anything about them. So why did Mancini go there other than for the money?
Absolutely.
Why have they sacked him? What has he done that's caused them to sack him other than do what every other Saudi Arabian manager does, which is probably not very well, because of Saudi Arabia? And how much are they paying him?
And so what? When he's taking that job, what
£20 million a year? I mean, I'm not being funny. He won't give a shit what his expectations were, will he? When they said we'll pay 20 million a year, they said, yeah, no problem. I'll win your World Cup. I'll tell them anything. Absolutely anything. Keen idiots, aren't they?
Probably told them they can win European championships as well.
I know they've got a ridiculous amount of money, but who the fuck's paid this £20 million a year? No, absolutely gone mental, isn't it?
It's just what they're doing in the Middle East at the minute. They're just throwing money at sport, but they're not even throwing intelligent money though. A lot of the time, it's just money because it doesn't matter to them. They've got it, so they're just going to spend it.
Absolutely crazy when you look at it, and he's doing it. And all. What's Infantino doing, inviting teams into this Club World Cup that you've brought about?
I've brought about. It's my fault, is it?
Well, I'd never heard a thing about it until you mentioned it. And every time I open my phone, some idiot's on about Club World Cup. He's inviting teams to it now. I mean, it's like we don't have to win anything. He's just inviting who he wants. What's this? Like a birthday party.
I've not seen that one, to be fair. I didn't know he was inviting
teams. Miami are in it now, but invite them. I know Miami have now gone on and won something. I don't know what they've won. But they're invited into next year's now. And it's like, well, hold on a minute. I thought it was the last 3 years that counted. Why winning today or last week or whatever? Does that get them into the next one?
But on FIFA's website, there was a list of teams that were in it. So how can we just invite more?
He did an interview the other day and said that it's invited Miami in.
But surely that affects the format of your tournament if you've now just got a random extra team.
Well, I don't think he gives a shit, does he? He'll just make it. I mean, if you're going to have 48 teams at World Cup, we can have 53 teams in this, can't you? I mean, he'll just divide it down how he wants. There'll be 2.5 teams at final. He's picking teams, isn't he? He's picking teams in it, and he's picking players in teams. I mean, fuck knows what's going to go on here. It's like a shit version of Championship Manager.
When you had like football at school and everybody just lines up and he's just going to pick players to make 2 teams, and put them on pitch.
He's literally just going to pick fat lad last, isn't it? And just it's just mental. What's going on here? Why is he inviting people in?
It's crazy, utterly crazy.
I mean, money, power's just gone to some of these people's heads, hasn't it? I mean, What are they doing?
Yeah,
that was just ridiculous. Now he's making up his own tournament and inviting teams to it.
It's my bat and it's my ball, and I'll do what I want.
I bet none of them have paid him a nice little brown envelope, have they, to be able to go to it?
No, because that would never be a thing in FIFA.
There'll be no bribes, will there?
No.
How stupid does he think we are? And they've started
Russia didn't pay for a World Cup, and neither did Qatar.
I know, yeah. And everyone believes that, don't they? Good job. We're only allowed to say it because nobody follows us and they won't shoot us. Gary Neville said it. They got shot when he went to the World Cup, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. It was one of the most corrupt pieces of television I've ever watched.
Barcelona and Atletico, they're playing in America.
What, Spanish League game?
Spanish League game, yeah. Playing in America.
Oh.
So the circus has begun, and it was on TalkSport the other day saying the Premier League will now follow because the Premier League are scared to be left behind by La Liga, which I don't know how you get left behind by La Liga. It's crap, but yeah, they're playing a league game out there. I don't know if it's this season or next season. So that's it.
It was their big game last night, actually, in the Liga, wasn't it? Barcelona won 4-0.
Smashed them, didn't they?
Yeah.
So Real Madrid were 2-0 down to Dortmund, weren't they? And come back and won 5-2.
Yes.
And then they were 4-0. Oh, it's a last one to Barcelona.
Not see anything there. I don't watch Spanish football because it's just dull. Apparently, Bellingham's looking
how I'd try and watch Spanish football.
Really bad right now.
He's gone to his head, though, hasn't it? He's just it just looks like he's just become your typical English footballer now. He's arrogant, thinks he's stood there shouting at all Real Madrid players and telling them where they should play and how they should play. And it's like, just get your head down, mate, and crack on.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an ego problem, I think.
Yeah, a few people have said that. Looks like he's it's all gone to his head a little bit.
Didn't take long.
He
had 8 good months, and that were it.
Usually ruins them, doesn't it, one way or another?
Yeah.
But
there we go.
Happened, anything?
Football-wise,
they're trialing your idea, aren't they? Trialing your idea in the women's football of
challenging
referrals. Yes,
makes sense.
Well, it does make sense. Yes, it doesn't make sense to trial it in women's football because that's not relevant to men's football.
True.
At no point is it. You know, I mean, I don't know why they just don't trial it in the men's game where it's going to come into first.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't really know what you've got to trial either. What's there to trial?
It's just a way of someone getting paid for something, isn't it, really?
The system's there. All you're going to say is, we won't get involved unless you ask us to. There we go, I've trialed your system. Done it.
Yeah. There'll be some crap they've got to go through, won't there? Some ticker tape they've got. Someone they've got to pay off to get it involved.
I want to see Ten Hag running and throwing a little yellow flag. That'll just be
fans all get one as well. Because when I see Mazraoui at number 10, I'm throwing flagging. What the fuck's he done here? Challenge. Get manager sacked mid-time. Midfield game. You know, we're talking about England having a foreign manager, and we were all against it. But obviously, we've got one now. I was obviously watching the Premier League this weekend. Would we not have been better looking at someone like Thomas Frank or Unai Emery? Are they not two great managers? I mean, Unai Emery is just ripping. I mean, they're top at Champions League, aren't they?
Probably. Don't look.
Yeah. They're top. Liverpool second. City are third. Aston Villa are top. And where are they in Premier League? Oh, third in Premier League.
Yeah.
Third in Premier League and top of the Champions League group. Why didn't they go and give him a big bag of money and say, why don't you come and beat your manager, mate?
Because it's the FA and they don't want to spend a lot of money. They want to do it on a shoestring.
They are going to spend a lot of money, aren't they? They're going to spend 5 million. So they're going to spend 7.5 million on Tuchel. Probably going to fall out of him in the next 3 weeks and probably not even take a game. But his contract's even started. I don't know.
But yeah.
Anyway, back to the real controversy. So basically, on Formula One, we are a race behind because we've not raced in USA, had we?
No, we
haven't. And we've had practice, and qualifying for the next race.
Yes, we have.
So let's unpack the USA, I suppose, first. Where do we even start with this? Well,
the rules are a mess. Is where you start with that.
Do they not understand their own rules?
They've written them badly, and the stewards didn't have a choice.
But when he explained, I've watched a video sometime midweek. I don't know whether it was from the weekend or it's been done after. And they explained on a graphic the rules. And the guy said to him, but Max is off the track. And he went, well, that doesn't count. How does that not count? So Russell goes and pushes one wide, but that's Russell's fault. Now, I understand that Lando's kept the position by going off. I'm fine with that. But Verstappen doesn't make the corner. He's not even remotely at the corner. The corner's left, and he's still going straight on. If you watch the wide angle from the helicopter, he's not even remotely heading to the corner. So how is that not gaining an advantage by driving across the track? If he turns at the apex, Lando's got plenty of room to stay on the track. I'm not saying he does stay on the track. You can't say that, can you? But he's got room to stay on the track. How can Lando stay on the track without causing an accident?
He can't. But this is
Sure,
where
that's the whole point.
The rules that have been written are the issue. So, I've done a lot of reading up on this over the last week and listening to various things. So, to get to the answer of what happened, we have to go back to 2022. So, in 2022, the rules for overtaking, not rules, guidelines were broadcast, but not particularly broadcast. They were put out as to what the new, how they want people to race. And the long and short of it was a car on the inside defending must make the corner and stay on the track while defending the inside. It does go a lot deeper than that, which of where the outside car is, it's got to be far enough alongside, yada, yada, yada. However, start of this year, they republished the guidelines that they didn't show any of the public. They published these guidelines and we don't ever see them. The new published guidelines said a car defending on the inside has got to be in control, not lock up, blah, blah, blah. But it removed the wording that said must remain on the track. So that's why the stewards had no choice. Originally, it said you've got to stay on the track. The 2024 version didn't say.
Who's defining who was attacking and defending? Because Lando had overtaken him. So surely Max was the one starting to make the next move.
This is then what McLaren asked for a right of review over on Friday. So they said they got new evidence that says, actually, Lando's ahead. The way you've judged this is wrong because he's not the attacking car, Max is. The stewards went, nope, sorry. And that was the end of it. But it's all a mess because when do you determine who's attacking, who's defending? Because they said...
But you just need to remove that from it, don't you? And say, if both cars don't stay on the track, then the car on the inside has got to stay on the track, whether he's attacking or defending, because he's got all the ability to stay on the track. Yeah. He's got the angles, he's got the apex. If he can't stay on the track, the outside guy can't do anything about it, can he? He can't possibly stay on the track when the guy on the inside can't stay on the track. So if he stays on the track on the inside, he's got an argument.
Yes.
Which is what they're saying on turn one, because they're saying he stayed on the track. I don't think he did from the angle I've seen.
Absolutely.
It looks like he was well off the track.
Yeah.
So he should have been penalised for that. So he's just. But if he stayed on the track in turn one, I can see an argument. I still think it's a blatant block, and he does the same. He doesn't turn in at the apex of the corner. He runs him to the edge of the track, and then tries to stay on the track, but doesn't. So he does it again at that corner, but he doesn't stay on the track. So it's a penalty for Lando for keeping the place, and it's a penalty for him for forcing him off. It's quite simple to me.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying throughout the week until I got informed about this change of guidelines that says Max is basically, the way it's written, allowed to go off the track defending if he hits the apex first. Under current guidelines, the car on the inside after that point can do whatever the hell they want. And there's nothing anybody
But Russell
can do
hits the apex first.
But he's attacking, is the difference, is what they're saying. They've viewed it as that Lando is the attacking driver, although Lando was ahead in the braking zone.
Oh, Lando was ahead.
It's very confusing. What they've tried to do
Lando makes his overtake.
Yeah. And then Max comes back in by being deep on the brakes. So Lando's ahead and Max is overtaking him. But what they've done...
So this is 2021 again, isn't it? It's like, here's the rules, but we'll make them fit however we need to make them fit. What has Christian Horner got over the FIA?
They've tried to over-codify overtaking. They've tried to make it so that they can be consistent. But they can't because they don't understand what they're doing. So if I give you another example, turn one, Texas, Max shoves Lando off and makes the overtake off the track. But we're told that wasn't investigated because of lap one leniency. Go back to Hungary this year. Max passes Lando off the track in turn 1 and is told to give the place back. So what is the
he does
difference?
because he runs really wide, doesn't he?
Yeah. So he passed Lando off track in Hungary, give it back. Pass him off track in Texas, you don't have to give it back. There's no consistency about it because they're trying to do it by guidelines. You can't. Each overtake is its own living thing. Cars are in different places at different speeds. There's different corners. There's different apexes. There's different runoffs. Stop trying to put codes in and just look at the footage and decide based on what you've seen that the car on the inside didn't make the corner. So yes, Lando can't pass him,
Impossible.
but you can't force him off. It's as simple as that.
No,
Stop writing rules that don't make any sense and aren't needed. Use your eyes and common sense.
Yeah.
Literally.
They're quite simple to look at. He's not on the track. If neither are on the track, you can't just punish one car, can you? You've got to punish both of them. We've both not made the corner, so it's just either null and void it, or if it's going to affect other drivers. I know you can't null and void it because it's not just about them two, because there's drivers behind them.
Yeah.
So you've got to give them both a penalty. But if they were 20 seconds clear of the next cars, just null and void it because it's irrelevant to anything. But if they both get one, or neither gets one, it's just farcical.
Yeah, the fairest way
weren't Albon involved in one as well?
Yeah.
Albon?
There was 4 or 5, I think. I lost count. Albon
Every
did
time
one.
it came out with a different outcome, didn't it? It was like
Gasly did
there were
one.
like
Russell
4
did
different
one.
and there were like 4 different outcomes, and it was like
just totally confusing.
It's almost like we said about VAR. You can almost give a bit of grace to VAR because it's never the same people officiating. Well, I say never. If you've got 10 Premier League games, the chances are you've got 5 or 6 different VAR people, because unless they play on different days, and you might. The FIA is the same guys every weekend.
It's not. That's the problem.
It's not the same people.
No. So stewarding in Formula 1 is done by a pool of people, but it's never the same people every week. There's a set pool, like there's a set pool of Premier League referees, but they're not professionals and they're not actual employed stewards. They're basically there as because they agree to be, kind of thing. Derek Warwick does quite a lot, but he's not classed as just a steward because Johnny Herbert does it sometimes, Derek Warwick does it sometimes, a few others do it. So there's always different people looking at them, which is a problem. You've got to have professional
that's the problem
stewards.
with VAR, isn't it? Because it's always a different person's opinion. I know you can't possibly have the same person doing VAR, but that's the issue with it, because it's an opinion, isn't it? Again, we're going back to, it's not a hard fact. You can't hard fact these rules that they're putting in place. They are opinions on what they've done and what they haven't done. So if you've got a different guy officiating every week, you're going to get a different outcome.
Yeah.
How they read the rules, how they interpret the rules.
F1's surely easier than football because there's only one race happening at a time, so the same people can do it. Easy.
I mean, it's not like they have to be at track, do they?
No.
You know, you could do FIA, VAR, whatever they want to call it, from anywhere in the world. Set in fucking living room in the boxes and do it. You know, so it's not like they've got to travel to every race. So why is it somebody different?
It's just the way they've always done it because they don't have a professional stewarding body.
All that money and they can't fucking. They put 200 million from him into it.
That's his money.
Got some spare cash, I've heard.
Have you not seen what's come out since last night with McLaren's right of review appeal?
I saw that it basically got told to fuck off, but I didn't read it because it just makes me angry. Because all I ever think when I read this shit is I go back to 2021 and just think, you're just lying, cheating bastards, lots of you. I can't be dealing with all the time. You read their example, like their explanation. I just think that's not even a real explanation, is it? You think they're as thick as you are.
The problem I find with FIA stewarding reports, they're written in overly complicated, trying to be legal manner. It's a sport. Just write it so people understand it.
Yes, because what they're trying to do is trying to confuse the general public so that you think, oh, well, it must have been important because they've used a lot of big words that we don't understand. When I see stuff like that, I just think, you're just trying to set piss now, aren't you? You just think we're stupid. You think, I'll write a load of big words and we'll not understand it. So we'll just think, oh, well, yeah. But I've just realised that they're just lying. That's all they're doing. Big words to cover up what they've fucked up.
Usually when you overcomplicate something, you're doing it because you're hoping to cover up
cover something up.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You're trying to sound like you're overeducated to cover up the fact that you don't actually understand what you've done. Or that you've made a mess and you're trying to cover for it, basically.
So what's come out since last night is they've now decided they're going to change the overtake.
They've changed the rule now. See, this is what fucks me off. They did this in 21. This is what they do. They know they're wrong. Why don't they just take the penalty off of Lando and do the right thing instead of changing the rule after because they know they're fucked up?
So they can't. So they've applied the rule that's correct at the time. So they're now going to going forward, they're going to amend the guidelines because they've realised they've written them badly.
Shower of shit, aren't they, lots of them? Absolute shower of shit.
But it was so
blatant. If I'm Lando, I'd just drive into Max at first corner and just end lot. Just put lot to bed. Just fuck it. I'd say, fuck your race.
But the thing is, though, I don't understand how they refused McLaren's right of review. Because what McLaren said was right. They judged it that Lando was the overtaking car. But at the braking zone, he wasn't.
I saw that on Sunday or Monday morning. I didn't need 4 days to judge that. I fucking saw that. That's what I was saying. How have they judged who? Because they said, the overtaking car and the defending car. I'm like, well, can you please be clear as to which one's which? Because this is not a straight overtake. There's been an overtake, and now we're going into the second phase, which is Max coming back at Lando, from what I could tell. And every angle I've seen doesn't change that.
The problem with F1 again is, so they said Lando hadn't completed the overtake because he hadn't basically got a full car length ahead. But on a timing beam at the end of a race, if you've got your nose a millimetre ahead, you win. So surely that's ahead. You can't have different versions of ahead.
You're the lead car at the time of the incident.
Even if it's only by half a tyre, you're ahead.
You're still the lead car. So when they go into that braking zone, Lando is the lead car. So Max is continuing to do the overtake.
Yeah.
There's no other way of looking at that. You can't say that Max is in front of him because he's not. So
it's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's utterly mind-blowing. In the end, I don't blame the stewards for the decision they made because the guidelines they're given are shit. And they've followed them because they have to.
They weren't consistent through the weekend, were they?
No, that bit I had an issue with. But that actual incident, the guidelines as written, there's nothing else they can do. Because they're not
just loses your confidence in them because they don't apply the same rule for the old 60 laps, 58 laps or whatever there is. If they'd done it throughout the race, then you can sort of say, well, yeah, but they didn't. Every incident, they come out with a totally different idea of what had happened.
And again,
basically, the same thing that happens in that corner happens at the first corner.
Yes.
And he's definitely not in the lead at the first corner. So it's the same incident. So why are they not given? They're basically saying because Lando didn't overtake Max. Had Lando stayed in front of Max at turn 1, they were going to give Lando a penalty then?
No, they went down the lap 1 leniency in that one of basically ignoring it. It didn't matter, it was lap 1. Which is what they do quite often.
Just shut door on that one, fuck it. Don't worry about that. Lap 1 leniency.
But then, if you're going to call lap 1 leniency, why do some races we don't have lap 1 leniency? It's not consistent again. The same move he did in Hungary, he was penalised for, that he did in Texas.
It's not funny how it's always this cunt involved as well. You can't stay on the track.
There's a reason why it's him,
somebody,
though.
Can you?
There's a reason why it's him. Now, prepare yourself, because this doesn't happen very often. I'm about to defend Max Verstappen. He understands the rules and the way they're written, and he's driving to them. He's very much like Michael Schumacher used to do. He gets what they've written.
No, and I've said this before, haven't we? We've said this about win at all costs. I get that, right? And he's doing anything he can to win. But the guy never keeps his car on the track.
Because he doesn't have to.
The same with Lewis in Brazil. But it's just ridiculous. I can understand it if it happens once, but year after year, when everyone tries to overtake him, he just drives them off the track. I mean, who did it to Lewis in turn 4 or 5 in Brazil? I mean, he's not even remotely on track. He's fucking 20 yards off it. How's that not a penalty? Yeah. He just fucking does what he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, in Italy, he did it when he was on top of fucking Lewis's car because he just will not yield to anybody. He'd rather. Yep. But the problem with Max is he's always in the championship lead when he does this, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's almost a lose-lose for everyone else because if you have a crash like that one, you both are. Well, he wins then, doesn't he?
It's very much
points and nobody again on him.
Actually, I said he's like Schumacher. It's very much the Senna approach of driving. Move or will crash. It's what Senna did for years. He made a career on move or will crash. And most of the time, people will move. He does. Yeah. And eventually...
they will do because other people need to chase him, don't they? If it'd been the other way around, if he's 50 points behind Lando then suddenly he can't be that aggressive, can he? Because he's got to stay on the track. Yeah. But because he's always in the lead at the minute, he's got the rights to do it, hasn't he?
I mean, you saw eventually it came to a head in 2021. Silverstone happened. Monza happened. Saudi Arabia happened. Eventually, somebody will bite back at him. But they've got to be in the right championship position to bite back at him. It'd be interesting to see if next season McLaren get ahead, how his approach is then.
Can't do it then, can it? You can't do it.
No,
well,
he's got to change.
We'll just be on radio every 2 minutes crying, won't it? I mean, I'm presuming that in the race today, there's going to be a lot of Max whinging because it looks like he's struggling and he's driving the nuts off it to get to where he is. So Ferrari look relatively quick. I don't know where Leclerc qualified with fourth.
Yeah, fourth.
So he could quite easily catch and overtake Max. So is he going to be crying all day? Is he going to be struggling?
He probably will, but I don't think he needs to at this point because as long as he's a place ahead or a place behind of Lando, it doesn't matter. The season's over.
I don't need to, but he'll be on radio, won't he? He'll be on radio saying he won't turn, it won't brake, his tyres are cold, the car's crap, blah, blah, blah. While everyone's just passing him, hopefully.
I mean, there's somebody else that's got to be over now, surely.
Well, did Perez not start? Russell started in the pit lane in USA and beat Perez?
Yes. I mean, and had a 5-second penalty in that.
And did you see Perez trying to overtake a Williams? Because that was almost the most painful thing I've ever watched in Formula One.
He got stuck behind Sonoda for a long time as well. That was painful.
I mean, trying to overtake that Williams were like watching. It was like he'd only got 3 wheels on car. I mean, what were he fucking doing? Just drive past him, man. It was like, Jesus Christ. What did he call a Pinto or Albon? What did he call a Pinto?
I can't remember. I think we call a Pinto. Yeah.
Who drove him and Lawson drove really well, didn't they?
Yes, really, really well.
Very, very good. I mean, Colapinto, where's he come from? Someone's been hiding him, hasn't they?
And it's a shame there's no seat for him.
Who's he owned by?
He's a Williams driver. So he drives for Williams, but there's no seats available.
Can't he go to the only team that needs somebody? Who's the only team that needs somebody? Is it Sauber?
Yeah, it's Sauber. They're just being really, really indecisive. They've not made a choice yet, and it's nearly November.
Have they got Zhao? Have they signed Zhao for next season?
No, God, no. He's
got about as much talent as Stroll, hasn't he? I mean, Jesus Christ. Where did they find him?
He's as bad as Sargent. He should be well out. Shouldn't have even been there this year.
Yeah. He's shocking him, isn't he? I mean,
he's really, really
talentless.
Bad. Yeah. It was like that clear on last week when I asked for race predictions, said Zhao were going to be last. I'm like, well, that's not a prediction. That's just happening.
That's a guarantee. That's like saying Perez won't finish in top 10. It's just like, well, yeah, we know that. How bad will he finish? I mean, what's happened to Perez again this weekend? I mean, hadn't Red Bull signed him only to keep him here for Mexico?
Pretty much, yeah. For the home crowd and the big cheer, and he's 18th.
I only realised he weren't in Quali 2 when I saw him, or Quali 3, whatever, when he was doing his interview. And I thought, what the fuck's he doing out of the car? He must hurry up. And he's gone. I'm like, fucking hell. They've kept him all season for this race, and where's he qualified?
18th.
Again.
But Oscar Piastri's only 17th. They've both had a disaster.
I know, but he just had a bad weekend, and he's been... Well, Oscar Piastri is my fault, because I said he was a world champion in the making, and they were going to be brilliant after his Azerbaijan overtake, and that's it. Ever since then, he's been absolutely shite. So
the last 2 races have not gone well.
Yep. So basically, I've made Everton brilliant, and I made him shite. Fucking hell, 18. I mean, I'm not being funny, but he were only 4 tenths of a second faster than Zhao.
It's bad, isn't it? It's really bad.
It's horrendous, mate. What have you done? I mean, Bottas is fucking well clear of him.
Yeah, Bottas made Q2 randomly.
Yeah.
But this shows how bad...
Even Lance Stroll's fucking half a second faster than him.
Shows how bad Sergio Perez is. We've slagged him off continuously for 3 months and he's done nothing good.
And he's still not got better, I know. Did you even come out with it in practice 1 or practice 2 and say, I had a really bad session? Oh, no, I've had a really bad season.
Yes.
I'm like, that's like saying Zhao's going to be last. I mean, point something a little bit more obvious out, can you? He must be the only person that had not admitted to himself that he'd had a bad season. He must have thought, I'm doing all right, actually. And I thought, yeah, it's not going
Probably
quite
not.
as well as I thought, has it?
But yeah, so admits
Yeah,
he's had a really bad season. Come to his home Grand Prix where they were hoping, he was going to redeem himself, and he's 18th. It's just
absolutely unbelievable, isn't it?
he's so
I
bad.
mean, if you're qualifying behind Lance Stroll, you've really got problems.
If you're qualifying, like you said, 4 tenths ahead of Zhao in what is basically a big green wheelie bin, there's something very wrong.
Bottas has out-qualified him.
Yeah.
Bottas has took that Tasha laughing all the way to Barbers, isn't he?
He's just so bad.
Why is the Williams yellow?
It's something to do with the sponsor, but I actually quite like that yellow because it's a throwback to my favourite ever F1 car, and I want them to put that yellow back on the car more often.
Like the white blue and like Mansell's.
Yes, the FW14B. The
I
greatest.
thought they were going to be sponsored by Minions or something at this fucking Grand Prix. Is it new film coming out? No.
Simpsons.
There must be some Hollywood film coming out in yellow. I'm trying to think. I think a SpongeBob film or something, and they're sponsored by you.
So hang on, we skipped over something while talking about officiating. So in FP2 or 1, sorry,
Mexico. This are we on? Yeah. Cota.
Albon had a crash with Behrman. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes, I did see this. Did he drive into him on purpose?
He blamed Behrman, which was quite funny.
Well, it was hilarious because Behrman couldn't be any further away from where they were meant to be. Where were they going? It was ridiculous, wasn't it? I mean, the first time, I must admit, right, the first time I saw it, I didn't see it properly, and I thought, what the fuck's Behrman doing? It's going so slow on the racing line. Only when I saw which corner it were and where the cars were meant to go, I was like, fucking hell, Behrman's miles off at racing line. Where's Albon going? But he's almost like avoided the crash and then still crashed into him. He's like, I've saved it. Oh no, I've got him. And I'm like, fuck. I mean, poor Behrman. What the fuck's going on? I mean, yeah, that were an epic. How many red flags were there as well?
So, in the resulting of that crash, obviously, yellow flags, red flags happened. Robert Schwartzman was in the Sauber doing FP1. He overtook a car under yellow flag conditions. Bearing in mind, this man doesn't drive for anybody. He has a 5-place grid penalty.
Schwartzman does?
Yes.
For
a sport he's not part of.
So, someone's going to serve this? Is this going to come into effect? So, it's not even going to it's going to carry on if he gets a contract in 3 years' time. They're going to say,
oh, it does. Next time he drives a Formula 1 race, he's got a 5-place penalty.
Who's going to remember that? They can't remember their own rules 4 laps after they've written them. How are they going to remember this one?
I can't believe it. So a man that isn't contracted to drive in the race has a grid penalty. And because he's not contracted to drive in this race, it will carry over to his next F1 race that he's never had and probably never will.
Never get. Oh my God. What is going on?
Oh,
it's like when the game, let's say they got a 67 grid drop for taking your engine parts. I mean, they must read it themselves and think, can I really put this out to the public? This is going to look a bit shit. I mean, did Albon get a penalty then for absolutely annihilating someone else's car?
No, that was just deemed a racing incident. He just lost control. There wasn't really a fault. Back end stepped out and he just didn't catch it.
Well, yeah, but he's wrote somebody else's car off. I mean, so Schwartzman passes somebody under a yellow flag and gets a 5 grid penalty. Albon writes off another car, including his own, and it's just, don't worry about it. I mean, how's that work? I mean, poor Behrman's gone out to practice. He got fucking 2 wheels when he got to end. Fuck me. How's that work? I mean,
and
I understand it's a racing incident,
Russell, though.
It's kind of lost. Oh, yeah, that was a big smash, that, wasn't it? What's he doing? What's happened to Mercedes? Can they not take corners anymore at more than 50 mile an hour?
So he's got too far on the curb and it's bottomed out. And as it's bounced and then back
both crashed in USA, didn't it? Same pissing corner.
Yeah. That was it was weird. That was something to do with. It's like the air was disconnecting in fast corners, and the back end has just let go, and it's just said enough's
You
enough.
sound like Lance Stroll now, coming out of this shit.
Toto's now said
Turning
they're in
left.
danger of spending too much money because the car's in bits.
Just take it on sandwiches and you get away with it. Worked before, work again. Wasn't it? So you've been buying caviar sandwiches and you didn't realise how expensive they were. What can they do? Although rewritten rule now, ain't they? So it won't matter.
5-place grid penalty for a race you're never even in. That's a cork of that one.
Fucking stupid, aren't they? Absolutely stupid. So who wins then? Seeing as you're on a run of predicted fuck all lately.
Leclerc.
I mean, one thing for certain is Sainz ain't winning it, is he?
I don't think so. No, he might do, but I just don't have the confidence in him.
I mean, what are they going to do? 2 stops? Is it a 2-stopping race or is it a 1-stopping race?
Usually a 2-stop here because it's usually quite hot.
Twice that Ferrari have got to touch the car, so that's at least 2 places he's lost. I mean, he'll definitely do something he shouldn't do, won't he? So,
but here's the other question:
McLaren don't look very fast, do they?
No, because McLaren don't look very quick. Are Ferrari now actually in danger of winning a championship? Because they're quite close.
It's almost
now.
like somebody's handing them, aren't they? Perez and Piastri are literally handing it to Ferrari because they can finish 4th and 5th every week, and Perez and Piastri can't keep a car on track suddenly.
I mean, the car was brilliant last week. They were miles clear of anybody. They're good. I mean, even if they finish 1st and 4th this week, that's gaining on both McLaren and Red Bull, what we think based on Perez being 75th. And
well, Leclerc's the better of the 2 drivers, so you would think that if it's the faster car, he's going to overtake the cars in front. As long as it's a long straight in it as well.
It could be carnage into turn 1. If Max gets aggressive, Leclerc gets a good start, we could end up with Albon leading by turn 2.
I mean, K-Mag's only a few places back. He could harpoon a couple, couldn't he?
God, yeah. If he makes the apex first, he can do whatever the hell he wants. Remember that.
That's it.
You get to that apex
but just
first.
Keep driving. Just don't brake. You'll definitely get to apex first, and then just hit what you can hit. It doesn't matter, does it?
This is my concern with saying getting to the apex first. You're going to get people just not braking because, well, the apex, braking. I can do what I want.
I'll brake when you brake, and if you don't brake, I won't brake.
I'm just not bother.
Just all being wall like George Russell. So it's all gone.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Wins. Actually, it's going to be good.
Sainz 2nd, and it's a battle for the podium between Max and Norris. Is my prediction.
What time's it on?
8 o'clock my time. So
Hülkenberg will win it then. 8 o'clock your time?
Yeah.
That's 4 a.m. I can't watch that.
No.
I'll be getting up. I ain't going to bed. I'll be getting up from bed.
Is it not 3 a.m. your time?
No, I'm 8 hours in front again now, aren't I? You're
8
p.m.
Right.
4 a.m.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I think so. So, will Perez come through the field? Is he fast enough to get in the points? I think he will, won't he?
I mean, you said that, but I mean, there was a long straight in America. He really made hard work of passing people. So I'm not convinced.
Watching him behind that Williams, we're like watching a 2-year-old trying to eat pasta. It was like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? It were everywhere, wasn't it? We couldn't overtake that car for nobody else. Like, just fucking brake a bit later and turn. It was like, fucking hell. This is painful to watch.
He's got no confidence, though, in his ability anymore, I don't think. So he's just...
It never cut to Christian Horner at any time. After just cut to Christian Horner when he tried to do an overtake. I want to see his face. Just the despair on his face would have been brilliant. Yeah, but yeah, so it could be worse. You could be a Perth Glory fan.
Oh, have they lost again?
They lost 6-1 first week. They lost 2-0 again yesterday.
It's an improvement.
So they're bottom at league and they won't be moving from there. So I'm kiboshing that idea of watching them.
Conceded 4 goals less. It's a massive improvement in a week.
Conceded 8 in 6 days. Not exactly where you want to be, is it? I mean, they were bottom last season. They don't like they've improved much.
It's the problem with a league system that doesn't have relegation, though. There's no incentive to improve because you can just keep playing and be crap.
Infantino's been involved, isn't he?
He'll just invite some more teams in if he can.
It's good when they do adverts for it as well. It's like the A-League, the best league you can watch. Like, not really.
It's not even close.
Yeah. So we covered everything. So we've said who's going to win. I think Ferrari win. Yeah, I'm struggling to say that Science wins. I can't. I'm not sure Leclerc can pass everybody, but yeah, I think Ferrari will win it somehow.
He might not need to pass everybody if Max and Lando are in grass in turn one. He'll just drive past them or
That's
round
not
them.
good for us, though, is it? I mean, we've literally Max Verstappen's just going to fall over the finish line here, isn't it? The same amount of points. I mean, is he not further ahead than he was in Miami right now?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
I don't know if you can remember that far back, but Jenson Button 2009 did this, started immensely well, and then just stumbled over the line and won.
I watched the film on it the other week, and he literally won the first 5 races, and then did fuck all the rest of the season and won by default.
That's what Max has
Although,
done.
did you see Jenson Button tearing strips off thingy over there when he's
Christian Horner, yeah.
Good lad. I've had it on repeat all week. Whenever I feel a bit stressed, I just put that on and think, shut you up on it, you mug.
But yeah, so NFL, have you caught up on everything?
Oh, have I, mate? I've watched them all. Absolutely brilliant. Except for Miami.
Chargers Cardinals. The Kyler Murray touchdown run, the speed on him.
Yes, he is mental,
unbelievable.
So the Chargers, I don't really want to watch this. So the Chargers' quarterback is the old guy Stafford.
Right,
they took him off of Detroit and gave Detroit Jared Goff. They said weren't good enough. And now Jared Goff's one of the best quarterbacks in the league this season. And I mean, Stafford looks older than me. I don't know how old that guy is. Took his helmet off of day and he's just totally great. I'm like, fucking hell, this geezer. But yeah, to be fair, it was a good game, Charger game. And they're normally shit, to be fair. I weren't a big fan, but I watched it and yeah, it was a very good game. Really. Yeah.
Last week's game lived up to the hype, though. Lions Vikings, what a game that was.
Yeah, that was, I would say, like I said, I reckon Jared Goff's one of the best quarterbacks. There's Jared Goff, Baltimore Ravens have got, I can't tell you his name, that's fucking gone from my head. Their quarterback, Jackson, their quarterback, and obviously Mahomes at the Chiefs. They're the 3 quarterbacks. Jared Goff has literally been a laughing stock for the last 4 years, and I don't know what he's done in pre-season, but he's firing bombs. Yeah, it was. They threw a couple of good ones, didn't they? Proper long ranges as well.
Yeah, it was decent, and then.
But it went to the death, didn't it? That one.
Yeah, Eagles beat Giants 28-3 as well, which is impressive.
Yeah. Didn't watch that one. I don't think.
I
got
that one? The highlights of that one. And
they're Chiefs, Baltimore.
Philly are on Sky today, actually. 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's early. Wow, it's very confusing. So we've moved our clocks. America haven't. So all the NFL's an hour earlier this week, which really threw me off. It's an hour earlier for me because we've moved clocks and they haven't. So it's 5 o'clock kickoff
at your time.
5 o'clock now because I've moved the clocks.
So it's 1 o'clock for me still. So that'll be tomorrow for me.
Yeah, because you've not changed anything at your end. Yeah, so they play the Cincinnati Bengals today.
Who plays today? So who's that one? Sorry, is that the only early game?
They're all 5 o'clock. Well, there's loads of 5 o'clock kickoffs today. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 o'clock.
Cardinals,
8 games.
Dolphins, Cardinals. So who am I watching then? Who's my games this weekend? Who have I got? Let's have a look. I wonder if Miami are on this week. I haven't seen a Miami game for ages. Like a full game. Although that's not exactly...
They're a 5 o'clock kickoff against Arizona.
So
they're 1 a.m. for you. So you'll not be watching that one live, I'm afraid.
NFL Week 8, Raiders and Chiefs.
We don't normally do serious things on this podcast because we're not very good at it, granted. But Josh Reynolds, hope he's okay. Hope he recovers after what happened, obviously, last week. The Broncos wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. It looked pretty bad, didn't it?
Wish all the best to himself and his family on that one. Apparently, what I've read, he's escaped with minor injuries, but that could have been, obviously, quite a tragic event. So, with any luck, he'll return sometime soon.
They said how long he's out for?
No, the Broncos have just said they're looking for a new wide receiver at this point, but I don't think it's actually said. Only bit I saw on the report was that literally was luckily taken with minor
Was
injuries.
he involved in it, as they said, or was he just a bystander?
I haven't really read the full story, and details were only still emerging at the time. But it was in a car, I believe, and was then shot through the window of the car, I believe, from what I read at the time. But yeah,
a few people have said it's a targeted shooting. So, Jesus Christ,
it's just senseless and stupid. But that's some American people.
Americans, in it. You know, like you have guns and shit's gonna go bad, isn't it?
But anyway, yes, we wish him all the very best on his return, whenever that may be.
Well, Dolphins have got their quarterback back.
For now.
He's back tomorrow, today, soon.
This evening.
He'll be back this evening, yeah. Well, I don't know, but at least he's back for now. It looks like the game isn't on, so I won't be watching him.
No, because it's 1 a.m, so you'll not be watching that anyway.
No, it's not even one of the live games this weekend, so I thought.
Fair enough, yeah.
5 live games. So, did you watch last night's? No, did you watch Thursday night's game?
So last night, no, I didn't. I watched the highlights of it. Yeah, that was LA and the Vikings.
Yes.
They've now lost 2 in a row. That's a bit of a slump.
I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, they looked pretty dire, to be fair. It was, I didn't see that one coming at all. It was, and again, I thought quite a good game. It's not 2 teams that I'd normally pick out to watch. Yeah. Stratford, I said at the start of the game that Stratford was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and then went on and won. So obviously, I blessed him with my touch, as I usually
as long as you can just keep bigging up the right people.
Oh yeah, I tried that on Man U, and that didn't work.
No, that's just a lost cause, and so is Perez. There's certain people that even our powers are not good enough to affect.
Well, they got the who did I watch the other day? Got beat badly in the NFL. Who was it? The Bucks got smashed by Baltimore, and they're owned by the Glazers, who are Man United.
Oh, so they're having a great time of sporting life right now, then, aren't they?
I don't know where the Bucks are in their league, but yeah. So it just panned to them, and they were both there in the stand, and I thought, oh, look at these two. The Glazers are there again.
I was trying to look at the league tables the other week, and I found it all very confusing. So
very American, the league tables.
AFC East, North, and all the variants that you've got, I expect it to be done geographically. No. It's done randomly.
No. Yeah.
Because I was like, how is Philly in the same league as Dallas? They're not even close. I didn't, but apparently it was done from the merger many years ago. But yeah, I expected all of them to be sort of geographically
Plus,
close.
They have American Football Conference and National Football Conference, don't they? So there's the NFC
that was joining
and the
of 2 separate leagues.
So it's, there's a lot of league table, and then you don't all go through. All your winners go through, but then second place is a bit of a mishmash of best names.
Is FIFA involved again?
It's like a FIFA type tournament, yeah. It's literally, you don't know who's qualifying until the last minute, because even they don't. And they put them like scenarios up of like how City win the league and how Liverpool win the league on last day. It's like there's like 19. How did these teams qualify for playoffs? Well, if these lose to these, the thing is, you don't play teams in your own league, do you? You play teams in all the other leagues as well. Yeah. It's like, it's the most confusing thing in the world, because you're not playing teams that you're directly even related to your competition. So
just playing games,
even though
you get a score,
it still points to you. It's like you're playing a team in a totally different division, another conference. So it's like, it's just madness, isn't it? So yeah, when you get down to the last 2 games, there'll be like more permutations on the qualified, and yeah,
depending on which way the wind's blowing.
I mean, like the Browns and the Raiders, they're not qualifying, or the Patriots, they're not qualifying.
They're done nearly already.
6. Yeah, Patriots will 6 in a row.
Yeah, they're done. Their season's over. Which must be pretty grim in life when you've worked all them months for that, and then it's over in 6 weeks.
And the Panthers have lost 4 in a row. Saints have lost 5 in a row. Jesus Christ. Saints have lost 5 in a row, and they're still not bottom of their table.
No, because that the
How's that
Patriots?
impossible? Panthers are bottom. Fucking yeah. I mean, so the Buccaneers have managed to be second. It's. I mean, some of the divisions are. I mean, the Falcons, the Buccaneers, the Saints, the Panthers. It's like the shit of shit, isn't it? I mean, there's 4 crap teams in there. It's like UEFA Conference League. Who's really doing so? Commanders are top. Seahawks. Where's the Cowboys? Where's the Cowboys? They're going to win it all.
They are Cowboys.
Where are
Literally
they?
Cowboys.
Oh, they're
third. They're behind Philly, because they're in our little section.
Yeah, they're struggling.
So, yeah, your prediction on that one's gone to shit instantly.
Oh, dear. They're not even going to get playoffs, are they?
No.
Yes, it should be another good weekend of NFL, hopefully.
It should, from about 5 o'clock. So I'll get to watch a full game, and then it'll be F1, and then I'll catch up on the rest of it tomorrow when I get home from work.
Yeah, well, Man United's team should be out shortly, shouldn't it? I don't think it's out yet.
They'll already be out 90 minutes before these days.
90 minutes?
Yeah, they put the teams out 90 minutes before kick-off now.
Oh, let's have a look then. Let's have a quick look before we go. Man United confirmed team news. Oh, no, it's not. No, they don't like they are. Unless I'm missing something. Can't see it.
Then I may have just
Neto starts at Chelsea. Oh, no, you're right.
Load of
Chelsea team. Chelsea team's out. So let's see. Let's just have a laugh at what Ten Hag's done before we go. Come on, lad. Chelsea team.
Mazraoui is playing, but he doesn't say where.
Oh, don't you give me.
So your lineup is Onana, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez, Fernandes, Højlund, Rashford, Eriksen, Garnacho, Casemiro, Dalot, because they've written it in squad number order, I think.
So Dalot's at left back.
Mazraoui at right back, Martinez and De Ligt.
Mazraoui's at left back, yeah. So Martinez and De Ligt are back together. Go on, what were the rest of them? I can't get it up on mine, it's not loaded.
Fernandes, Højlund, Rashford, Eriksen, Garnacho. So you've got Højlund, Eriksen, Casemiro in the middle. You'll have Garnacho right, Rashford left, Højlund up the middle, and Fernandes playing 10.
Behind him. So you've gone Eriksen again.
Your central midfield is just really weak and old and arthritic.
It's the same again. We said this about the defenders. The problem is with our centre halves and our central midfield, we keep changing them. We need to play the same central midfielders, the same centre halves for 3 or 4 games, 5 or 6 games, so they get used to playing together. It's always, you look at that 4 in there, that 4 will have not played the same game, consecutive games, at any point this season. What we played, 8 league games, 3 Europa League games, a League Cup. So we played 12 games. They will never play the same 4 together.
It's just stupid.
It's just bonkers to me. It's like resting people and we don't need to rest them, and then not playing them when we do need to play them. But we'll see. Eriksen's been playing well. He's been playing really well, but he's not the answer to the problem that we've got. He's not going to, he won't stay beyond this season. So He's not the answer, is it? There's got to be a better option than keep sticking Eriksen in there. But
absolutely.
We'll see. I mean, luckily, it is only West Ham, and they aren't particularly great, so we'll see how it goes.
They're not great, but you're not much better, so.
Oh, what are we? Well, literally, if they beat us, they'll go above us, so. That's how bad it is.
That's how dire your season now is in life.
Oh, well, let's just hope Max crashes.
Well, I suppose, yeah, that's a few hours away yet, but I shall go and call that a day, I think, for another weekly episode.
No problem.
So I shall speak to you soon.
See you later.